possible I'm not even going to post this. This is grays and browns and very boring stuff, but and I may even go all the way around. I'm exploring some colors for a project I'm working on, and I just want to see what I've got and decide which color I want to use. So I have already done a couple down here, as you can see. This color is Graphite Gray by Danielle Smith. This is probably going to be the least interesting color wheel I've ever done. It's just going to be a lot of the same color. Browns and grays. And some pinky browns. And since I'm going to go straight around, I'm going to probably do these a little more out of order than I would have normally. Raw umber by Core is what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to work the wheel left to right so I can keep my arms out of it. Hopefully. For those of you following along, this is where we left off. And this is the new, I just turned a page. I didn't finish Graphite Gray. Oh my goodness. Well, I can fix that. And this might be my color for my project. That's a great color. That was kind of what I was hoping for, actually. We may have a winner. go back and fix graphite. Kind of granulating. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, since we're doing gray, let's go ahead and do Daniel Smith Payne's Gray. These are all going to be Daniel Smith or Core. That's why I did these down here already, because they're cheapy Van Goghs. But I've got them in my box, so I used them. I swatched them. Alright, Payne's Gray, Daniel Smith, which I think is very blue. Memory serves. Okay. Let's do Core Van Dyke Brown next here. It's a little watery on my part. That raw umber by Core might be my winning color, which is great news. Okay, Cora Van Dyke Brown. Let's move on to, I didn't have quite enough colors to fill in this wheel, so I ended up using, I had too many if I added these in, so I ended up putting in Shadow Violet and Potter's Pink, which, you know, it's a stretch, but here we go. For this project I'm going to work on, I need 5 shades that are very distinct. Some colors, as we've seen in other swatching, you just don't get a lot of, wow, that Shadow Violet's got some neat granulation going on there. I'm glad I did that. Okay. Looks like I might have some ultramarine in it. Let's do Core again. Let's do transparent brown oxide with Core. feel like I'm rushing a little bit and not taking my time to make sure these 5 wheels or 5 spaces on the wheel are distinct enough. Feels like some of these are too samey. It's not that I'm in a hurry, I just don't love some of these browns. They don't make you want to stick around, you know? They're okay. I like brown, but don't like all browns. Alright, let's move on into, let's do burnt sienna. Is that going to be good for my hand? I think so. For placement, meaning not getting it into other paints. Back to Daniel Smith again. The rest of these are Daniel Smith. Burnt sienna, right? Yep. These are similar pigments. Transparent brown and burnt sienna. They feel similar. Not the same. They read very similar, don't they? I think so. Ugh. Too much. Again. Alright, let's go play with Potter's Pink again. Oh, I should have brought the camera down. Sorry about that. Let's try to do that now very gently. Okay, Potter's Pink. Wow, that Shadow Violet is really getting a lot of interesting play in the colors. Blues are definitely popping through there. Oh, hello, gloppy Potter's Pink. You don't disappoint. You're still gloppy. At least you're consistent. formulation's not great. It's just a sticky, gooey mess. I'm going to try something over here. I'm going to try to... Oh, that's so much better. Because that's just a hot mess right there. I guess that's a con for going straight out of the tube, isn't it? I like that much better. Okay. Carry on. I actually have Potter's Pink in with my neutrals. I think maybe I'll move it back into my reds after seeing this now. After my first time swatching it, I was determined this was going to be a mixing color only, but so I put it in with my neutrals, but I'm thinking now she might stand on her own if I pull her out in the palette and water her down really good. Okay. Not so mad about that. Sometimes you got to give things a second chance, I suppose. Alright. We did burnt sienna. Now burnt umber is next on the wheel down here. Burnt umber. Here you go. I'm not sure I've ever opened this tube. Just looking around because I'm thinking, wait, I just did an umber that I liked, and I'm not liking this one. This one's very chocolate. But that was Raw Umber by Core I liked. I think it said Raw Umber Natural, if I remember the label correctly. I'll pull it back out here in a second. Okay, there's burnt umber. Okay, where was that Raw Umber by Core? Yeah, it does say that. Raw Umber Natural. PBR 7. Good to know. Alright, back up here. Now we're going to go do Raw Umber Daniel Smith. Little bitty tube. It's a little gloppy. A little dusty and crusty. Which we're not a fan of. Okay, Raw Umber. I should have looked. PBR7 also. It'd be interesting to have two PBR7s on the same wheel. Two different brands. Yeah, this one's... the core looks like it's got a bit more black in it. But we'll see. Meaning, it leans more black. I like this color too. For my project, I mean. I guess it'll depend on how they both look once they're dried down. I think the core is probably dried down already. It's a fairly light layer of paint and water. I'll have to give this one time to dry down and see. But I'm liking it. Yes, indeed. Okay, but still looks different so far. All right, next let's go ahead and do the green. Well, let's get the lid back on this one first. Let's focus on one thing at a time. All right, German greenish raw umber. Very strange. Very stranger. All right, looks very green. That is in this title. It's funny because I was going to say this to me has green in it compared to the core, but now this is called German greenish umber, raw umber. 4 words to a title. I think this is going to be one of those I need to take to the palette, to a mixing palette over here to the side and kind of get it all. You will not believe how gloppy this is coming out of the tube. Ugh. All right. Let's add a little water. And do a little mix over here in the palette. I'm not sure if this is helping like it did with... Okay, here we go. A little more water may have done the trick. Okay, yep, that feels better. Highly pigmented still, but we can work with it. Least exciting end result to date, but I wasn't even going to film this because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for, well, all this is for me, but I'm doing this as research for my next... Oh, I'm liking that mid-tone. Oh, okay. I see you. Because I need to figure out which brown I'm using for this Valentine's Day paint piece I'm doing. Yep, brown for Valentine's Day. I said it. I'll bring you along for the ride. I promise. But this just needs to be a little darker. But I gotta mix it over here because it gets all separated. Ugh. And instead of just getting random pieces of paper and writing on them and swatching them out one by one and kind of just, you know, hit or miss, I thought maybe I'd just add it to my book. And I thought, well, nobody's going to care about raw umber and burnt sienna, transparent brown oxide. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Again, I don't do it for anybody but me. All right, last one is a Primatech Bummy Bauxite. Yes, Bummy Bauxite, absolutely. Mummy Bauxite. Okay. I need to go to bed. It's late. Okay. Now I remember this being a little gloppy before, so we're going to do what we've been doing with these other colors, which is we're going to take a little water and we're going to do a little swirl the paint motion over here in the enamel tray. All I'm doing is just putting the paint in this clean spot, relatively clean spot, and just kind of making the water reconstitute. And I really hope I'm not so... It can't take me longer. And it's super loaded with pigment on the brush right now, but I can already tell it was going to be an issue like some of these other ones were, so I went ahead and went straight to the enamel pan. And I'm just going to have to offload some of this pigment when I'm done. I really hope this has got a neat granulation on it, because it's supposed to, because it's a Primatech. But, you know how that goes. That one's granulating quite nicely. The German greenish. Yeah, I'm going to have to offload some of that pigment. That's too much. I'm not going to have any separation of gradient here if I don't. Alright. Let's not make this an hour-long video. Let's get this wrapped up. Well, this tells me what I need to know, and I'm feeling pretty good about these colors and what I'm going to use. So, I hope you didn't mind the brown journey, the neutrals journey, whatever color we're calling this. Shadow Violet turned out to be really quite interesting. And it's obvious these colors haven't dried down. That Potter's Pink performed better than I thought it would. That Payne's Gray with Daniel Smith here versus Van Gogh down here. Anyway, interesting. Oh, can't see it. Anyway, thanks for joining me again. It's been lovely chatting. See you again soon. Bye.